Good day and welcome to Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan, and today we bring you a story that has stunned the tennis universe and shaken fans across the globe. Tears flow and emotions run high as Aryna Sabalenka confirms the most heartbreaking, unexpected, and emotional announcement of her professional journey. The Belarusian tennis powerhouse, known for her fierce dominance, unstoppable attitude, and warrior mentality, has shown a rare vulnerable moment that reminds the world. Champions carry hearts too, and even the strongest athletes are human behind the trophies, stadium lights, and roaring applause. Sabalenka's shocking confirmation of sad news has left millions of tennis supporters in disbelief, reshaping conversations on resilience, pressure, identity, and the emotional toll that professional tennis can silently build over months, years, and a lifetime of ambition. Aryna Sabalenka has always been the embodiment of power. Every serve she launches looks like thunder, every rally she commands feels like a storm closing in, every victory carries the signature of someone who fearlessly refuses to lose. But just hours ago, in a moment broadcast across official statements, press channels, and fan-driven tennis discussions, she confirmed devastating personal and professional news that has forced the tennis world to pause, reflect, and rally emotional support around one of the sport's biggest superstars. This is not match-point heartbreak. This is life-point heartbreak, the type of moment that transcends scoreboards, ranking points, seedings, WTA brackets, or tournament draws. This is a moment that reminds fans why athletes inspire us, not because they always win, but because they always rise again even when life tries to bruise them. The announcement Sabalenka delivered carried no sugarcoating. She didn't hide behind diplomatic sports language. She stated it plainly, emotionally, authentically. In her post, she reflected on emotional struggle, personal turbulence, and the unseen weight that elite athletes often bury under competition. The statement, though personal in tone, strongly hinted at a deeper struggle tied to mental health, performance anxiety, or a deeply emotional life event that she could no longer continue to carry silently. The tennis world, which for years placed her on a stage of invincibility, is now discovering the emotional battlefield she has been navigating beyond the court. Fans report crying emojis, threads of concern, mass comments of love and support, trending reactions, and moments of empathy flooding Reddit, Twitter, Philippine tennis forums, Indian tennis circles, American sports reactions, and global fan sites. Even rivals like IGA Swiatek publicly acknowledged emotional support for the Belarusian star, showing that tennis still respects sportsmanship even when headlines shake beyond match narratives. Sabalenka's sadness has united fans across borders, language, and rivalry. Pressure in tennis is uniquely different from pressure in other sports. In football, a player can fall and another teammate scores. In basketball, one player misses and another recovers the rebound. In tennis, every point is individual. Every victory or defeat sits alone on your shoulders. There is no passing the ball. There is only carrying the moment. Goff herself once admitted that tennis pressure hits differently, and today, Sabalenka echoes that invisible truth with heartbreaking clarity. In men's tennis, we see dominance shake players. But in women's tennis, dominance often invites scrutiny at twice the force, twice the questions, twice the expectations, twice the spotlight. Sabalenka has lived in that spotlight from teenage stunner to world #1 competitor. Dominance in sports thrills audiences, but dominance carries a shadow. The same fans who celebrate you will panic when you stumble. Today's confirmation has shaken that very paradox. The WTA Finals draw last season tested Goff with similar emotional weight. But this story digs deeper. Because this is not tournament pressure confessing itself. This is a champion stepping forward saying the mental weight is no longer bearable alone. Fans are reacting emotionally not out of disappointment, but out of empathy. It has sparked widespread tennis media reflection on how much unmet expectations and constant pursuit of victory can weigh down even a top champion. Some sports analysts called this moment one of the most emotional reveals from a top tennis star since Osaka stepped back from the tour to prioritize mental peace. Others believe this will force bigger tennis organizations to reconsider emotional well-being protocols for athletes, and reduce psychological toll by diversifying fan expectations around future champions. When Sabalenka first posted her Bold Girls Day content earlier this year, it sparked joy, boldness, viral fashion excitement, empowerment tone, and global applause. But this new reveal shows a quieter emotion. It is the kind of sadness that shakes not controversies, but hearts. Claire Liu, who once ranked far below top seeds, had her breakout moment at WTA 1000 events by upsetting players who were mentally heavier. This is how tennis defines itself. Unpredictability thrives where pressure lies. But Gauff herself once insisted that domination in tennis is good only when balanced with mental peace and competition from the field remains thrilling. Her insight was strategic and psychologically important. The question now quietly sits behind Sabalenka's reveal. Dominance can electrify tennis, but emotional release must coexist with the journey to greatness. Because greatness is not always about smashing forehands, it is about learning when to breathe. And when Gauff talks about pressure lifting, she speaks from the same ecosystem that Sabalenka and Swiatek breathe every day. Let's talk legacy. Coco Gauff has always carried one narrative: she is the face of future American tennis. Sabalenka's vulnerability doesn't erase dominance. It highlights its roots. She may be defending ranking points, chasing trophies, crushing slam fields, but even champions need emotional grounding. The tennis fan world is no longer questioning her talent. They're questioning the emotional burden she has carried beneath it. Mental pressure can bend a player's posture. But when pressure lifts, posture straightens, swing loosens, speed spark returns. That is exactly what Gauff described after her Grand Slam victory at the US Open 2025. Life becomes lighter. But Sabalenka's reveal is timed before tournament rise, not after it, showing emotional shock can happen even before tennis redemption begins. Coco Gauff herself is preparing to defend her 1,500 ranking points at the WTA Finals 2025. That means every single battle is measured against perfection. But imagine, winning 1,500 points and having pressure lift, it becomes joy, not weight. Now switch sides. Losing 1,500 points and confirming sad emotional news, it becomes personal hurricane, not just tennis turbulence. Fans are discussing whether the current ranking system amplifies emotional pressure too fast for young athletes. And when champions reveal vulnerability early, it signals major shift in sports empathy tone in 2025. Gauff and Sabalenka both represent what happens when pressure either lifts or crashes too quickly. Some fans have already started threads about wildcards and ranking point protection. Social media is filled with messages like, "If the ranking system punished champions for emotional moments, we're witnessing a broken sports empathy compass in 2025. Others say, "If champions are stripped of emotional silence early, the sport becomes more human and more balanced." This conversation is reshaping not just Coco's narrative but WTA's emotional perception globally. Tennis fans are also reflecting on young superstar balance. Iga Swiatek once protected her calm consistency by treating tennis pressure strategically. Aryna Sabalenka kept her dominance fluid by neutral emotional reaction to tournament draws. But Sabalenka's vulnerability shows what happens when emotional storms weaken before tournaments begin, not after them. This invites fans to reevaluate what dominance in tennis truly means. Dominance isn't bad. Silence is bad. Champion emotional honesty is healthy. Tennis success measured only by points is not healthy. Greatness can coexist with vulnerability if the sports ecosystem encourages empathy, mental calm, and competition beyond perfection. Coco Gauff herself has always represented freedom through competitive adversity. Now, Sabalenka is reminding fans that when pressure becomes unbearable, stepping back to breathe might be part of champion's narrative too. And this announcement, heartbreaking as it is, might mark the beginning of a powerful comeback arc rather than an ending. As the story expands across tennis culture, mental health advocates, sports analysts, tennis organizations, and young athletes worldwide, one thing is clear: Sabalenka isn't bowing out. She is opening up. And opening up is the first step of rising again. And now, as we close this continuous coverage, we want our viewers to take a breath too. Cherish champions, respect rivalries, celebrate dominance, but never forget, athletes are people, not point machines. Great careers are built not just on trophies but on emotional resilience too. This is Trending Update USA. I'm Steffan. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more updates where tennis meets humanity.